Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast.
Well, greetings and welcome to episode 140 of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast. I'm John Engelman. Thanks for hopping on. Today we talk with Henry Francis of Evergreen Pasture and Provisions, and what a story they have. But before we sit with Henry, well, downtown Springdale has a market again.
Oh, we're just enjoying the sun out here.
Come on in. Get out of the hot.
Emma's Market and Bottle Shop opened their doors yesterday at 9 a.m. Chef Ben Elstein and Gaskins on Emma co-owner Bert Jones are partnering on this one. Jones readily admits that Elstein was the one that did the heavy lifting to get the doors open for this one. The selection is thoughtfully curated. On the market side, you'll find things that you wouldn't expect. Yuzu mayo and super seed jalapeno crackers to Luchos energy blocks to banana chips. Speaking of chips, by the way, yes, there will still be chips, soft drinks, M&Ms, things like that, things you'd expect from a market, including toiletries, paper towels, toilet paper. There's also local beer, national beer, frozen foods, including frozen pizzas and burritos from 11 to 2. They'll make sandwiches. On the bottle side, you've got thoughtfully selected wines that you may not expect from a corner market, and it may also be a challenge to find in other stores. Here's how Elstein sums up the place.
We have stuff that's good for your body, and we also have trash. And it's important to have that combination. We have food that's great if you're riding your bike or out for a jog. And we have candy. We've got delicious wine and food made from fresh, real ingredients. And we've got stuff that'll clog your arteries. I don't want to yuck on anyone's yum. I want people to discover things that are delicious and are fun. We want to have whimsy, and we want to have good things that are affordable, all in one place.
I got to tell you, I'm not a hot chicken guy. In fact, I'm not a hot anything guy. As I've said too many times on this podcast, I'm just not built for it. But it seems like everyone else is. And man, they are into it, you freaks. Now, if you didn't know, the very popular Dave's Hot Chicken opened on Friday in the Summit Shopping Center in Rogers. Of course, for those of you who do know, that is where Whole Foods is, Firebirds, and PJ's Coffee as well. Part of the grand opening, the Reaper Challenge.
His heart's gonna be.
Tommy Taylor in a Philadelphia Eagles jersey stepped right up and decided to take the challenge, which was eating tenders with their hottest sauce, which, by the way, that's 1.6 million to 2 million Scoville units. As directions were being given, Tommy had this thought.
And I gotta go to work.
I tried to tell you.
Yeah, man, I'd be reserving a hospital room right now if I were you, Tommy. Hey, but he's not me, and he tore into it. He gave no cares, and I hope you're able to watch this on YouTube, by the way. He was trying to finish quickly, but the heat set in, and you got to give it to him, though, is right there he finally finished. But he was feeling like the name on the back of his Eagles jersey, Hurts. As he went to go suffer, we caught up with the first customer of the day, Emma Gupton from Toddytown, who started in the line at 9.
I got the the tenders and the slider meal.
How hot?
Mild.
Okay.
I don't do hot.
I'm betting mild is still spicy. For those of you that have been waiting for more gluten-free options in our area, a big one opened on Monday. Dempsey Bakery is a gluten-free bakery out of Little Rock. It opened in Fayetteville on Monday morning at 481 South School Road in the old Arcega's Mill building, and there was a line outside before they opened. Once inside, they offered breakfast items like bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, which, by the way, I can personally vouch for. But they also had cake samples, cookies, banana bread, pumpkin bread, and more. They even have gluten-free frozen take-home items like lasagna, dinner rolls, pie crusts, frozen pizzas, and more. They also serve lunch, which includes soup, salads, and sandwiches. They're open Monday through Saturday, 7:30 to 5:30. The Fayetteville Flyer reports that Fayetteville will be getting another Gusano's location. It'll be on the east side of the city at 3931 North Shiloh Drive in the old King Burrito space in the Nelson's Crossing Shopping Center near Jason's Deli. They're hoping to open early in the fall. Hey, it's your last chance to enter to win some allocated whiskeys, and it all goes to a good cause, Lifeline of NWA, which provides independent living solutions to seniors and those with disabilities. If you go to the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas Facebook page, we've shared the post from our friends at Macadoodles. Tonight is the auction on Zoom, and you'll be able to see the list of whiskeys that you can bid on. But you can also do like I did and buy a raffle ticket at $25 a piece for a separate allotment. I'm told there haven't been a whole lot of them sold to this point, so your odds, or I should say our odds, will be very good. Almost every bottle in the raffle is worth twice the ticket price, with a few far exceeding that. Look for the post on our Facebook page. Well, there's a sign for a new restaurant in Rogers, and they clearly did not account for the wins as a corner of the sign is ripped off. Bao Bao Dumplings and Ramen will be coming to the old Steak and Shake in Rogers at 1715 South 46th Street, just south of the Home Depot and in the shadows of the Vista Apartments at the Summit Shopping Center. I have a call in to the Bao Bao Dumplings and Ramen in Tulsa to see if it's theirs. Keep an eye on our social media for the answer, assuming we hear back. And a happy 14th birthday to Fossil Cove Brewing Company in Fayetteville. They celebrated last Saturday with $5 beers all day long. They announced, of course, a few months ago that they'd be opening that second location and production hub in South Fayetteville and part of the old Dollar General on South School Road. That project is expected to be completed in the first quarter of 2027. And finally, some sad news to report to you. After 11 years, Foghorns closed their Springdale location at 1148th Place. Their last day was this past Saturday. They posted that many of the staff would be given opportunities at other locations and that their Fayetteville locations would remain open for the foreseeable future and beyond. In today's Flavors Flashback, we hear from owner and executive chef of Mezzaluna, Sergey Peters. In 1990, he was the executive chef of the World's Fair in Russia and Siberia. The stories in that podcast are some of the best we've ever had. One of the best ones, though, was about his plane ride from Munich, Germany to Russia.
I'm ready. We're ready to go. So I'm going to the airport. Everything is already on the plane. And Lufthansa flies from Munich to St. Petersburg.
Okay.
And it was just me, a butcher, and a maitre d', and the guy who's in charge of the fair. So 4 people, basically, on the plane. So we land in St. Petersburg, and I'm behind a gate and looking through, and I see the conveyor belts where usually your luggage comes out, right?
Sure.
And they have to unload the plane and put it onto a Russian plane because the German plane was not allowed to fly over Russia.
Oh.
And instead of loading one plane to the next plane, they put everything on the conveyor belt. Now I see a case of brandy go by, champagne. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to steal everything.
Oh,
what are we going to do? And I didn't speak Russian, so I saw a German guy who spoke Russian from East Germany. And I said, can you translate to that guard over there that all that needs to get back on the plane? And he said, okay, let me see what I can do, this and that. He said, oh, don't worry, we got it. And for some reason, nothing got lost, not to my knowledge, which was very interesting. So finally, we're on the plane. And this is like a 24-hour flight. God knows, I don't even remember how long it was. It was ridiculous.
Sure.
So we're on the plane, and I wake up, and the stewardess comes over. And again, we're only like 4 or 5 people on the plane. And it's like, would you like some breakfast? And I'm like, oh, it would be nice. So she brings this tray, and I look at him like, what the heck is that?
Uh-oh.
So I see a big glass of water, some coffee, which wasn't coffee, because they didn't have coffee. So they used some grain or something. I don't know what the heck it was.
Yeah.
So I drink them, so I can't drink that. That's gross. And a big piece boiled piece of beef, like gray, and I'm like, yeah, no. So, and I was so thirsty, and so I'm like dehydrated. So I take the glass of water, and we're talking like a pint.
Yeah.
Gulp it down. It was nice and cold. Only to figure out it wasn't water. It was vodka.
No.
I thought I was gonna die.
Oh, vodka for breakfast and boiled meat and grain coffee.
So, not good.
Henry and Kylie Francis own Evergreen Pasture and Provisions. They started by selling their beef at the Fayetteville Farmers Market and were overwhelmed by the response they were getting. Since then, they've opened a storefront in the gorgeous Berryville Square where they sell regional goods, including some from local producers. And now they deliver to most of Northwest Arkansas, with all of Northwest Arkansas coming shortly. We'll hear how Henry and Kylie met and how they ended up in Berryville and how you can get your product on their shelves. That's next, right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas. Yeah, it's supposed to rain this weekend, and it's going to be hard to get out, so make sure you are stocked up for World Cup fever. And you know where. Macadoodles in Pineville and Guess Who in Bentonville. But before you go, check out their Facebook pages for weekend specials. Also, don't forget, today at Macadoodles in Pineville, it is Wine Down Wednesday. That is 15% off all wines all day. And if you don't know what wines to get, they have complimentary white and red wine samples at both locations. They've also got spirit tastings, and when they make a new barrel buy, there will be an open bottle so you can try it. And if not, just ask. Within reason, they are happy to pop one open for you. And don't forget, try the Macadoodles exclusive private label wines and spirits. I did have their Pinot Noir during the Belmont Stakes this past weekend, and it went very well with my big, huge $12 win. And if you're buying a 12-pack of beer, do not forget, you do get a free 3-ounce bag of ice because those details do matter. They'll also help with big carryout orders, and when it rains this weekend, they've got umbrellas for you right up front. You know how they do it there. Macadoodles in Pineville and Guess Who in Bentonville. Taste before you buy and feel taken care of every time. And go USA, be Paraguay.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Welcome back. We are in downtown Berryville on the gorgeous square here, and we are at Evergreen Pastures and Provisions, and we're here with Henry Francis. He is the co-owner. Sir, how are you?
I'm well. Better
Good.
than I deserve.
Well, that's good, man. I love the store. I walked in,
Thank you.
thought, man, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of everything in here, and it's all super, super local, and that's great. We'll get into all that.
Sure.
But first off, man, I've not been to Berryville. And I drove into the square, and I thought, this kicks ass.
Yeah,
Pardon
don't
my
tell
French.
anyone.
Yeah, right? I know, I got to keep it a secret. Really, really cool. I know there's a lot of history here.
Yeah.
When I was looking up, I saw some things, and I thought, that is a spot. That's great. Does it feel like it's starting to build back up a little bit in your mind? Do you see that?
Yeah, we're getting some really cool retail in.
Okay.
I mean, just things are kind of really evolving, and we've got a lot of growth coming in.
Yeah.
Berryville certainly seems to be on a lot of people's short list.
Kind of on the radar, right?
Kind of close to Northwest Arkansas. You definitely get that hometown feel. It's a small town,
Yeah.
in its DNA, and I think it'll always be that way. And again, I'm a transplant. I'm not from here. My wife's whole family has been here for generations.
Okay.
And so,
All right.
Yeah.
There's the tie-in. Well, speaking of which, tell us where you're from.
Okay, so I'm originally from Kansas City. I was born and raised. My
Okay.
folks still live there. I still, call it home.
Yeah.
Came down to the university back in 2014.
Okay.
Got an agriculture degree, which was a surprise to kind of everybody in my family because nobody's involved in agriculture whatsoever.
What on earth got you into that?
Yeah, I don't know. My mom was she has a green thumb,
Okay.
and I've always just been really interested in gardening, and that kind of blossomed into I guess I can get a degree for this. I never was as passionate about taxes or finance or insurance as my siblings are.
No kidding. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I came down to the university and then went to the Bumpers College.
Yeah.
Graduated with a poultry science degree in agriculture business.
Okay.
So what better to do with that degree is to go work for Tyson.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little
Kind of a nice little segue. Yeah, right. Just shoe you right in.
Yeah, pretty much. And so did an internship there and ended up landing a job on the innovation team.
Nice.
Which is really fun. You know, I always used to explain it to people as like, you know, we'd turn crispy chicken crispier.
There you go. And this is when your folks were saying, okay, now we get it.
Yes.
That's what he's going to do.
Yes. Okay. This works.
Yeah,
this works.
right.
This is safe.
Right.
You know.
Right.
All right.
He's got benefits. This will work.
Yeah, I think I recognize that tiny little company out of Arkansas.
A little itty bitty, right? Yeah.
So yeah, worked there. Funny enough, met my wife on my second day. So I was like, this
is what
place
I was
rocks.
Ask you. Yeah.
We love Tyson. So yeah, I met my wife. We were kind of on the same team. We were all kind of rolled up under innovation.
Right.
And so we got on projects together, got to know each other, and then you know, when you know, you know.
Yeah, man. When you know, you know. That could be a tough thing at the office.
Yes. Yeah, and it was kind of fun under wraps. And
Sure.
I mean,
listen, we're only talking about millions of other people too that have done the same thing. So this is, you know, not really. I don't know. I'm out of the corporate life now, so but. You know, it happens.
For sure.
Yeah, it happens. So now, how long were you at Tyson?
Just a couple years.
Okay.
So, and then that took us into COVID, and my wife and I kind of, and then my wife and I kind of looked at each other and we're like, hey, you know, we're looking for some. It's COVID. Things are just different and mobile.
Well, nothing's certain.
Yeah. And so we said, let's do something fun. We took jobs out in Colorado for a different poultry company called Pilgrims.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Same chicken, different company.
Right.
And so we kind of did the same thing over there.
Where's that at in Colorado?
It's in Greeley.
Oh,
yeah, so
wow.
We moved to Fort Collins, which was a very similar kind of vibe of Fayetteville. So we felt really comfortable. It's also
Colorado
a college town.
State?
Yes,
Yeah.
CSU.
All right.
Felt very comfortable there. It was super fun. But, you know, COVID, it was kind of just like weird. And
let me add one thing. Is Greeley University of North Colorado?
I actually don't know if there is a college there. We drove from Fort Collins into Greeley, then right back.
What was that, like 30 minutes?
Yeah, just about.
All right.
Yeah, so my wife and I worked together. So we've always kind of worked together, you know, up to this point. We carpooled every day, and it was awesome. And moving out there, you're each other's best friend. You don't know anybody, and so it was really great for us. But one thing led to another, and I kind of.
I always love when statements start with one thing led to another.
Pregnant. Hey! Yeah. So we got pregnant. We were doing pretty similar work out for Pilgrims, and JBS owns that company. So JBS is the largest beef packer in the world.
Okay.
They're a Brazilian-based company, and so really got exposure to a lot of like this poultry beef industry side. Yeah. And honestly, really loved it. It was a great. I was doing more of the like B work or business unit, so managing P&Ls and things like that.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy, but and then we got the opportunity to come back to Northwest Arkansas after we were really kind of wanting to come back after we found out we were pregnant.
I was about to say, was there a family pull to get you guys back in the area?
Yeah, and also a familiarity.
Sure.
We were just like, I think that we're not really calling this place home.
More of an experience.
Yes, and we were so glad we did it. We did a lot of hunting and fishing and skiing and all the things that come along with newlyweds in a really cool place like Fort Collins. So
for sure.
But got a ton of experience, and then she landed back at Tyson.
Okay.
But she's still there now. And then I landed.
That's a long drive.
Yes, Springdale to Berryville is not for the faint of heart.
I just did it.
Yes. Yeah. So that's Kylie every day.
She's on 412 forever. Bless her.
Yes.
Yeah.
The real hero. So ended up working for Walmart. So I got on their merchandising team as a buyer. And that's really where I fell in love with retail. Fell in love with the customer story, their experiences in store, and how as a buyer I can service them every day with the products that I choose to put on the shelf for them. Looking at customer data, looking at trends, what do people really want, out of the largest company in the world,
Yeah.
and where a lot of people go to buy most everything, you know, from a big city to a small town.
You bet.
And I loved that huge breadth of work and scope, and a lot of responsibility. Very crazy, as anybody that works at Walmart in any department knows. Just like, it just is what it is.
Sure.
And I was over on the electronic side, so the audio division. So I think speakers, headphones,
Sure.
party speakers, that kind of part of the store. And that was really fun because we got to do a lot of annual event or Black Friday type of craziness.
Yeah. They're huge on Black Friday.
So really got me in touch with...
Let me ask you, because I know it's huge online, but was it still at the time real crazy in stores for Black Friday?
Kind of. That was one of the things that was hard. It's still, I don't know this now, but... Yeah, so like you will always have traction at Walmart for Black Friday,
Sure.
and at different places like Best Buy and all these other competitors or places in the marketplace.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just this Pandora's box that really only the person that's figured it out truly is e-commerce companies.
Yeah.
You know, they're born and bred online.
Sure.
But certainly Walmart is still a huge player, which kind of led, knowing this in my mind, kind of led me down a path of a blueprint that I was going to follow opening this store.
Okay.
And so we were pregnant with my second son.
Okay.
And we had the baby, and we kind of my wife and I do, like every 2 years, it's a big joke. Like every 2 years we do something crazy. And we're literally coming up on our 2 years. So like,
lock
we
your
get
doors.
married, yeah, and then like, you know, we moved to Colorado 2 years later. We moved back. We have a baby. Then we have a second baby, our second boy, and we just felt this huge pull to Berryville, and that was to really focus on family, farm, lifestyle. We were really building what we thought was just like the architecture of the rest of our life, and we felt that Berryville was our call. So that's Kylie's 4 generations here.
Jeez.
Yeah, so has called it home for a long time, and bought this 150-year-old house and called it home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So while you're going through this in your mind, you were already thinking about doing something like this at that point.
Oh, yeah. So I'll kind of back up. So I kind of gave like an up until Berryville.
Sure.
And then kind of in between there is my wife and I don't know, this 4 or 5 years ago, we were at the Fayetteville Farmers Market, and we were walking around as ones do, you know, with kiddos and friends, and there were a lot of people we knew, and especially that worked at the farmers market. It was one of Kylie's old classmates, peers. She still manages the market today, and we were just catching up, and it was like, oh no, we really need a beef vendor. And my wife and I were like, okay, like, you know, we raise, you know, beef back in Berryville, and you know, that'd be fun little thing to do, and you know, keep.
So this was started by Kylie's
peer, you know, old college.
No, the Evergreen.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, it was started by Kylie and I.
Oh, okay.
So that was a different, like, Evergreen was our pet project. My Kylie and I's little pet project.
Okay.
Like, you know, we really loved marketing. We really loved agriculture. We really loved direct to consumer. We really loved what that meant for the community, for us as individuals to have an outlet.
Sure.
And we just really, I don't know, like, we were really excited to flex not in like a bragging way, but like, you know, flex a muscle that we don't always get to use.
Yeah,
of like,
for sure.
We love aesthetic. We love branding.
You bet.
We love things that mean more than just something on a piece of paper.
You bet. Yeah.
So we really wanted to build Evergreen to mean more than just, you know, Francis Family Farm, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we kind of had this funny vision before we even had a single product to serve. We were like, we want to make a brand. So like, what are those, like, you know, we were really thinking about the name. What does that mean? We really wanted it to be synonymous of like kind of all encompassing of whatever we want to do in the future.
Yeah.
And Evergreen, the name was kind of born out of like, well, an evergreen, first off, is a sensory word. So like I say evergreen, you can imagine a color a color palette,
Yeah.
a smell,
Freshness,
a feeling,
yeah.
freshness, but it also has a little deeper roots, no pun intended, but like always in bloom, like it never goes dormant.
Sure.
Strong, unwavering, and just the outdoors,
You bet.
And so that was something that we liked, and obviously it was made, our colors really easy of greens and browns and grays. It's like, okay. So anyway, it kind of ran. It's just funny thinking about those things of like, we don't even have any. No one might not even like what we're doing.
Well,
but it was fun. It was a really great outlet for us, and so we showed up at the Fayetteville Farmers Market with our freezer full of beef, and we sold out first day.
That's awesome. Now, how long had you had a farm at that point?
Kylie's family's been farming for 3-4 generations.
Okay. All right.
Like forever.
Okay. Yeah. And so you guys had the cattle ready to roll, and you had a butcher just in time, ready to go.
So traditionally our farm has been up to this point pretty much a cow-calf operation.
Okay.
Which basically what that means is we as farmers in this operation of a supply chain, we just raise mamas and babies.
Gotcha.
And we sell the babies after they're weaned to the market, your local sale barn, whoever, and then the people at the market take those and do with what they will. Normally those are packers, like feedlot operators.
Okay.
And so that's us in the supply chain.
Okay.
What we kind of had to pivot a little bit was saying, hey, instead of sending these at that time like 6 calves to the sale barn, we're gonna keep them back and put them out on pasture, give them some feed, let them grow out to be a fully ready animal that you would expect, a feedlot operator to do.
Yeah.
Or background, or whatever you want to call them. And so that was a little of a different operation. And so anyway, held them back, and that took, doesn't happen overnight. It takes 9 months.
So it's a lot of planning.
Yes, a lot of planning.
You're planning to do Fayetteville Farmers Market a year before it comes back around, I'm assuming, right? Okay.
Yeah, and so
Nice.
we get to that first day, we sell everything in our freezer, and we're like, okay, well, maybe there's just pent-up demand, whatever.
Right.
And then the next week we came, and they were like, we tried your product, and it was amazing. We love it. We want more of it. And we're like, okay, cool. And so we do this kind of week over week, and we didn't have that much product, so we ran out really quickly.
Yeah.
And then when we came back with product a few weeks later, they were like, where were you? And so we were kind of getting this idea of like, this has some depth.
Yeah.
We're liking where this is going.
Sure.
Not only do we like just, I'm a yapper, so the Fayetteville Farmers Market's really fun for me.
Sure, man.
To just like have that conversation with the customer, have that face-to-face. If you have a question, I'm pretty easy to
For
corner.
sure. I would find that the probability. Yeah, absolutely.
And so that was just kind of and then it's history from then, and we decided to sign up for keep holding back a lot more of our steers, and so therefore we went, and we knew that in our mind it was kind of a big risk of like, okay, we're holding back over 20 more animals than we did the previous year, and we were just like, okay, we know we have demand. Now we have to go find sales channels.
And it's not cheap to do to keep them held back. I would
But
assume.
the liability.
Yeah.
Especially now in the market.
Yeah,
which
man.
was different last year, or not last year, 3 years ago, when it was a little bit more safer. And now it's like you can sell a brand new calf for just as much as you were getting back then. So it's all kind of a funny little conversation. But,
right.
But yeah, that's kind of the genesis of everything. And so now we're going to skip ahead back into the story.
Yeah, sorry.
Of why we decided to move out here, which was saying, hey, we really like what we were doing in Fayetteville Farmers Market. We're going to lean in. We love this life that we've built and are kind of seeing on the horizon of farm and family values, and we're going to lean in.
Okay.
So not 2 years later, but basically, we moved out here to Berryville. I was on paternity leave with Walmart with our second boy, and anybody knows me, I don't do well with sitting with not much to do.
Sure.
And so I started a business.
Feel that. Okay. All right.
This was kind of out of the kind of sitting and thinking and talking with our friends in this community, and we knew a lot of people here.
Yeah. And
so we were talking with them more and more, and they kind of knew we did the direct to consumer thing, And then so that kind of became a lot of the conversations that we
Mm-hmm.
had early on, and they were like, yeah, we'd love to buy your beef, and then we get, eggs from this person, we get raw milk from that person, we
Yeah.
go to Harrison for this, Eureka for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not just one person, this is like dozens of people that are saying that they have to leave Berryville to go find what they want because nothing, it's not here.
Right.
Or rather, it's just farming communities that talk with one another,
Sure.
and so things just get spread out pretty quickly.
There's no real central point.
Correct. I mean, you got Walmart,
Understand.
and another local grocer called Harder House
Okay.
in town.
Okay.
And so those are your options.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to eat clean, you want to eat healthy, you either have to go straight to the farmer,
Yeah.
and kind of do this back channeling thing, or you got to go to a bigger town like Harrison. And so we thought that was unfair.
Yeah.
And we had a passion, we had a drive, and I started opening this, started talking to, obviously being in that world of producers, I already kind of had a foot in the door of like, hey, we've known each other for a couple of years at the
Sure.
Fayetteville Farmers Market. I'm trying to open up this thing in Berryville. Would you want to be a participant? And this kind of concept is not new. A farm store is not new.
Sure.
You can find a lot of them. But we, in thinking about all this of like, where do we want to put it? We could have certainly put it in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
And would have been a great addition. But our roots are here. Our community is here. There's a gap here.
Yeah.
And so we opened up doors, and then not too far behind, I left Walmart. And this has been my full-time thing since, I guess, like February of 25.
Tell me about that conversation with Kylie.
Yeah, Kylie's a very,
Honey, it's time to leave Walmart.
yeah. She's
What did
like,
that look like?
Sorry. Sorry, you're gonna have to convince me a little bit more. And I think, and I grew up with an entrepreneurial dad,
You
and
bet.
so
Same.
I was really lucky to see that firsthand.
Yeah.
Of like, he was at every baseball game, he was at every football game, he was at
Yeah.
he showed up. He was gone often, but gosh, if there was something going on, he was there. He
Yeah.
had control of his schedule, and it also provided a great life
Makes
for me
a
and my 5
huge
siblings.
difference.
Of plenty, and freedom. And I saw that and really wanted a piece of that pie. And it's always been in the back of my mind of like, I've always wanted, and
I was just about to ask. Yeah,
Yeah.
because being the child of an entrepreneur, as someone who has their own company, you're thinking, boy, he just gets to do whatever he wants whenever he wants. Meanwhile, I've got all these deadlines swirling around
not
me.
without its
Unbreakable deadlines.
Yeah. Not without its certainly its crazy pitfalls and waking
Sure.
up at 3 a.m. and
That's not all roses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
for
still,
sure.
it's like every day I wake up, is anybody gonna walk through that door?
Yeah.
I don't know. But we
So tell me about finding a spot on the square.
that was a bit serendipitous as well.
Sure.
Because we were every year. There's a big Christmas parade, exactly what you would think like in Hallmark.
That's
just
great.
like the whole town floats, horses, buggies, churches, community.
Yeah,
It's
man.
just like, it's so fun. And we were walking right past here, and this was all boarded up with, not boarded up, but rather had a bunch of paper over it, and like coming soon, but not really
Yeah.
publicized. And that was one of those big linchpins of like, where on earth are we going to put this thing
Yeah.
that follows our own aesthetic, what we want to communicate, that shows a clean, great place to buy your local produce and groceries and
Sure.
things like that. And just so happened, my wife was walking by, and she's like, wait, what's that? And called the number on the screen. And this building has actually been in that. So our landlord, we don't own this building, but they had fixed it up. I mean, it is brand new.
Wow.
But it had been in their
great.
family 3 generations.
Okay.
Like the family that was one of the really influential people of this town.
So it's been a lot of different things over time.
Yeah, it's been a butcher shop. It's been at its genesis was a pawn shop and a
Okay.
jewelry store. I can't remember which one on the square was which, but one of those two. And then there was a butcher shop, and then it was there was another cool thing, and then it just kind of passed along down. Never
Sure.
was vacant. but just needed work, and so they really went and fixed up a lot of it. I mean,
That's
floor
great.
to ceiling. They actually found, it was crazy. When they were pulling up all these levels of flooring,
Yeah.
the very bottom they found like bones of animals because it was a butcher shop.
Oh no!
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, very very interesting. I've had a lot of people and being involved in things that are historic around, like not only our house, which is it's the oldest residential stone house in Carroll County. This place is very on the historic square. I mean, there's just a lot of people that come in and just share their stories of, I was here, as a kid, getting jewelry for my mom, during Christmas with my dad, and those are the little pieces that, as an outsider, I feel are really already just enriched in this community.
It's a big tie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel
ties you in.
Yeah. Quickly.
Yeah.
And to be a part of people's stories, whatever that looks like, is quite the honor.
What was it like getting this place stocked and opened?
Very scary.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as hard as, like I said, a lot of these products on the shelf I knew personally from the Fayetteville Farmers Market or just people around town.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had pretty, it was, and of course we put out on blasts and on social media and again, we raised the beef, we raised the organic pastured poultry and then the eggs as well. So we kind of had some of those going for us.
You had a good early start.
Yeah, I had a good early start that, we are a producer.
Yeah.
We're a stakeholder, not only as like the owner operator.
No pun intended.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. There's going to be a lot of those.
Yeah.
And we are a producer. We are on the front lines.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Of, we understand your problems as a producer.
Yeah.
Producer, maker, baker. So anyway, it was quite the uphill battle, but you start to get momentum.
Yeah.
People start to hear about, hey, this cool little place on the square.
Yeah.
I make bread, or I make cookies, or I make, tallow, whatever. And
That's
there's a
great.
lot of people that still come in to this day of like, hey, I make, spices. Would you want to carry that? I'm like, absolutely. Make me a batch, and we'll put it on the shelf, and we'll see how it does.
Yeah.
And so that's been a really fun opportunity of this store, is just like people can come in if they have a craft, if they have an ability, if they have a sidekick. Like we have a gal that, it's seasonal because she hand forages for all of the plants to make herbal tea.
Wow.
She's like, I just do this for me. Would you consider selling it in the store?
Yeah.
And as soon as it's here, it's gone.
Wow.
So it's fun to be an outlet, and puts a little, in this economy, just a little bit goes a long way.
Helps you both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we kind of do, like, we have to stay pretty fluid with the operations of this place, because these are I call them lifestyle vendors. These are people working out of their home.
Yeah.
Directed. They're not some big corporation behind a brand.
Sure.
It's you kind of have to be pretty nimble. So we do wholesale and commission.
Okay.
So I just say whatever works for your business strategy right now, and if things progress in any way, we can pivot pretty easy. So I try to I don't like to make things complicated. I make the barrier to entry very low, hopefully.
That's great. Wow. So more often than not, I'm assuming, just from the sounds of it, they're coming to you, or do you find people that you go to and think, I'd really like to have that in the shop?
Yeah. It's,
Or is it both? Because listen,
it's definitely both.
For what it is that I do, it's about 50-50.
Yeah.
I reach out to people and they reach out to me.
Yeah. I would say, like, I walk farmers markets a lot.
There you
and
go.
I give out my card and I say, hey, like this.
Brilliant.
These folks that I saw them at the Bentonville Farmers Market.
So for folks that are listening and can't see, it's Vince's Marinara Sauces.
Yeah, and they do it. They're a little Italian place up in Lampe, and you can find them at the Bentonville Farmers Market pretty much every week. But they make really great marinaras, olive vodka, pesto, and that was something that was missing because we also carry a lot of Zelli's pasta.
Yeah, man.
And so it's like these things, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, how can I...
You got a date night in the store right there.
Yes, pretty much. And it's hard. This is a little space.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be everything for everyone.
Sure.
And so I have to be really specific about like how do my products really help people and create really great meals.
Sure.
I'm not going to have everything.
Sure, of course.
And so, I try to fill gaps where I can fill gaps.
Sure.
But I think my time at Walmart really taught me about like intentionality on the shelf and like how does all of this kind of work together, not just trinkets and things and whoever walks through that door has a place here. There is certainly a truth to that. But yeah, I mean, that's so people come in the door saying I've got this, that, the other thing, or they text me or social media or I'm passing out cards at markets because those are my people.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think you'd need to do more at all. I mean, that I would think those would elicit plenty of responses.
Yeah. And some vendors are easier than others on getting their products.
Sure.
Sometimes it's like, well, sometimes I can just make them an email, they ship it the next day, and boom, it's there. Perfect.
And to that point, with this store, I'm copied and pasted. I thieved something from your website. The storefront isn't just about Evergreen's own farm. It's about providing an outlet for small producers who might not otherwise have the time, resources, or channels to get their goods to customers, and that's exactly what you described.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we always want to have this DNA of like, we're a farmer's market with a roof and a door. This is products filled with people. This is of our community, because
it's not seasonal.
Right. It's every day.
Yeah.
And so, anyhow, I kind of lost my train of thought there. But
I killed you on that one. Sorry about that.
Anyway, so
yeah.
Where was I going?
I don't know.
Anyway, so we try to keep this stocked year round, which we do, and so not only do we provide the grass-fed beef, the organic pasture-raised poultry, and the eggs. There's other people. I buy eggs from other people who. One of them is a 13-year-old girl who has 24 chickens that are her pets.
Outstanding.
And so she brings them once a week. It's just a couple dozen, but even on that scale,
that's great.
Of just like, $20. They walk in with a product, they leave with cash, and
$20 for a 13-year-old, man.
I know,
that's great.
And so it certainly works out.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But so we just want to be a place where local producers, makers, and bakers have a home.
Another thing you provide, delivery?
Yes. So I think that's where I was trying to make a segue in my mind. But yeah. So,
sorry.
No. You reminded me of like, okay, that was... So the delivery has been kind of what you were talking about earlier of like, there is no place I shouldn't say no place. Farmers markets die after basically... the first freeze. After the season.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's not a lot of veggie producers. There's not a lot of people that want to come out and go outside. So a lot of markets just go indoors.
Yeah.
And then once you're not, people are funny. Once it's not right in front of you, once you're not doing it every Saturday in the same spot, it's like, where'd everybody go?
Well, you can't walk your dog with you in the indoor places. And
That's what makes it really sweet whenever it is in season. So we were seeing just like a kind of some warning signs of like, hey, a lot of what we do is the Fayetteville Farmers Market, selling our beef and our chicken. And going into the winter months, that sales channel kind of was going to stop. We had this place and this was thriving. But it wasn't at that same clip yet. We were still young.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if we just like, again, kind of a call back to my Walmart days of like, people in this area we live in Northwest Arkansas lives in a Walmart bubble.
Sure.
And Walmarts are really great, and they're at a capacity where like, hey, Doug McMillan or John Ferner at this point can walk into the store and be, and they very well might.
Yeah, for sure.
They do live here, and so Walmart is really ingrained in their capacities and new innovations, and their home delivery for grocery at that back in the day, back a couple of years ago, was something we were really leaning into, and a lot of customers were getting on board.
Sure.
And so I was like, people are kind of used to getting groceries in this area, certainly, delivered to their door. I mean, we did it every single week for years and years, still do it. And I was like, what if we delivered our beef and chicken, and these things that we produce in the store or come out of the store.
Yeah.
What if we delivered to people's front door? So I was like, my wife was like, I don't know. That seems like a lot of time, a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're driving around a lot. It was just kind of maybe that could work. I don't know. But like a lot of things that I see when there's a gap, I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say, I'll do it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I like kind of being the guinea pig, as it were. But so it's kind of funny. I was really not ready for that to start for like a couple weeks after I had gotten the website built. I mean, I had never built a website. Built our website from scratch. Yeah. I'm not a website guy. I really wasn't even, social media. I wasn't even. I posted twice a year. That was for my son's birthday and my wife's birthday.
There you go.
For her birthday and her anniversary.
Yeah.
And then I've kind of grown into the skill set of like getting in front of a camera, talking about ourselves, our farm. And so kind of the same vein of I'm just going to figure this out. Yeah. I'm going to learn how to do a website. It was really weird. Nothing really was in the marketplace that I could just like copy and paste.
Sure.
So it had to be really a la carte and scrapped together. And I had this set live to just like to do some test runs, and someone made an order. Oh. And I was like,
for delivery?
Okay. Yeah, no idea. Like, didn't talk about it online.
How far away were they?
Luckily, right in the heart of Fayetteville.
Okay. So, all right. Well, that's,
yeah,
it's a commitment.
So, yeah, we right now, and even in the beginning, our goal was to like keep servicing. We service Berryville out of this store. We service Carroll County out of this store. Yeah. We were going to stop serving Fayetteville if we left the market during the winter season, which we were planning to do, but we didn't want to do that. We wanted to keep servicing them. Yeah. And then this was our channel to basically serve at the beginning just Fayetteville, just a couple of zip codes in Fayetteville. Okay. And someone found the website. They never really talked about it online. Yeah. They just I think they kind of just stumbled on it. Fun fact about them, they were our first customer. Okay. And they have ordered every single week since then and are our best customers.
How long ago was that?
September.
Oh,
so we've been doing it since all right, a little longer than I thought. Yeah, and I've missed a couple weeks for Christmas and sick and stuff like that.
As it happens.
Life, yeah.
So are you the delivery man?
I am. Yeah. Dude. So one of the big things about the store and our product that we carry is raw milk. Yeah. So raw milk is quite contentious, but we took the position of as a core, what we want to service is not only great products but freedom of choice. Yeah. We are very lucky to live in a state of Arkansas that has rolled back a lot of regulations thoughtfully about how general consumers can get raw milk. Sure. So now that we can historically, sorry, I'm kind of jumping around, but raw milk is a big part of like how we function. Okay. But historically, it was you had to go to the farm. Back in May, right when we started this store, April of 25. The following month, the regulations kind of rolled back on raw milk, and you can sell it at a farm the quote is a food store, which we are, and then delivery. So we were actually able to deliver raw milk just like the milkman.
Milkman. Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with that model. It just kind of got changed a little bit. So I deliver our grass-fed beef or organic pasture-raised chicken, pasture-raised pork, lamb, organic and non-GMO eggs, raw milk, a big one, and then I do like sourdoughs and a part of like some bundles that we do, sourdough and honey as well. So,
and we'll get more into those here in the next segment. We'll get knee-deep into those. But so your delivery area?
Yeah, so the delivery area started out with just Fayetteville. So a couple of zip codes in Fayetteville. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, oh, this is like really getting popular. People are really liking this. And I was like, well, I'll expand it a little bit. And it has just been crazy. I mean, are you
delivering to Siloam Springs yet? Or?
No, not yet. Okay. So right now we're like all of Fayetteville, all of Springdale, Elm Springs, Summit Cave Springs, Farmington, just kind of that like around 412 and south. Yeah. But then, and that's every Tuesday. I drop it off. I start deliveries at I'm leaving here at like 4.
Yeah.
And then deliveries kind of start at 5 a.m. So people leave a cooler out for me for their products and their milk and stuff.
Sure.
And they leave out their empty jugs, and I pick them up, and it's
old school milkman. That's
right.
great.
I need to get like a white outfit and a hat.
Go deliver in that.
I know. Yeah. So
that's great.
And we have just gotten a lot of feedback on. They're like, hey, where's the Bentonville and Rogers love? And there's a lot of people. We didn't start there. We didn't open that up because like no one knows who we are over there. Like, Fayetteville is. People come to that's where we go to in our mind, we were like, well, Fayetteville was.
Did you know that 99% of the population in Bentonville listens to this podcast?
Is that right?
No, it's not right.
Okay. It's like that's.
Your eyes got big. Wait, what?
But
no, absolutely not. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But no, that's great. That's great. So at some point, though, you're seeing you might have to shift north.
Yes, we are adding a delivery day, which is Wednesday.
Wow.
It's not live yet. No one go to those I'm not gonna let that one happen again.
Stand by.
But I'm hiring somebody this week, hopefully.
Nice.
Get them trained up, and we'll open up Bentonville, Rogers, that basically the rest of Northwest Arkansas.
That's amazing.
For a Wednesday delivery. Yeah, and so we've partnered with a really great dairy in Bentonville, so it's going to be. We're going to get milk from them.
Okay.
And then just our great products that we'll continue to serve. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, speaking of the products, you ready to talk about them?
Yes.
We're going to talk about that. We've got the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and that is coming up next right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Let me show you something.
Connect with us at Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram, or by email at flavorsofnwa@gmail.com.
All right, it's time. The Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week. For that would go to Henry. Sir, what is your tip?
Well, I'm not much of a tips and tricks guy, but I think that, like we were saying, we're just really involved in our kids' lives, and I run a food store, and what we put into our bodies and our kids' bodies is really important. And so there's like a little saying, it's like, you are what you eat, but you are what you eat eats. And that's a really big part about, how we raise our beef and our chicken. But a cool little product that we carry, which is it was actually born out of like a necessity for our family. So our firstborn was really iron deficient, almost anemic. And I hate liver. Hate cooking livers and onions. I don't like it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. And so, we looked into some of these supplements, and my kid hated them. We're just like... we didn't like it.
Yeah.
But really wanted to give them something natural.
Yeah.
But what he did like was ground beef.
Okay.
So what we ended up doing was working with our processor, and this is not a brand new product to the marketplace, but it's called an ancestral blend, where we take the heart and the liver of the animal and we blend it into our ground beef.
Okay.
So, and after doing that for a while, like making tacos and making products with this ancestral blend, which just tastes like ground beef, but you get all the benefits, i.e. from the liver, which is high in iron.
Yeah.
So, and after that, 3 months later, his levels were all the way back up. And so that was
amazing.
Yeah, and so it was really cool. And so if you're looking to get a little extra protein, to get some of those omegas, fatty acids, and specifically iron, and don't want it to taste like liver, you can just grind that liver into pork, into beef, into whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's a great tip.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. I will say that when you started saying you are what you eat, if you're a kid if you were raised in the late 70s, early to mid 80s, the whole bit, there was this Saturday morning cartoon PSA that came on, cartoon PSA. And all I remember was the first part of it, you are what you eat from your head down to your feet. And then it went into eating healthy and vegetables and the whole bit. So anyway, I'll remember that for the rest of my life if I remember it now.
Yeah,
so there you go. We'll be right back.
Your story doesn't have to end. As an organ donor, the good in you can live on. In fact, you can save up to 8 lives through organ donation. Sign up to give the gift of life after you're gone. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe, someone else will too. Sign up online today as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. It saves lives.
So at this point in the podcast, I always talk to you about the importance of organ donation. I get you some really sad stats. This week, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ask you to tell a friend. I'm going to ask you to ask if somebody is an organ donor. And if they're not, tell them about organdonor.gov. 5-minute sign up. You know the drill. We've talked about it every week. They can also do it through the health app on your iPhone. You know that too. And of course, the old school way, doing it at the DMV/Department of Finance. Organ donation is so important. It's impacted my life in a super, super positive way. You guys know in 2022, I had a kidney transplant, and it would not have happened if they had not been an organ donor. Organdonor.gov is the place to go. Please get signed up, and please budge a friend and tell them to ask a friend. Start a chain. Let's get everybody signed up. Only 65% of eligible Arkansans are signed up to be organ donors. Let's push that up. Thanks as always. We're back with Henry. Let's talk beef.
Sure, yeah.
So, beef from Evergreen, I guess that's the best place to start when we get into the provisions here.
Yeah, grass-fed beef all the way. So, we do every cut. It feels like we do every cut imaginable. It's like we get that cut sheet. It's like everything. And so we focus mainly on, we kind of do it all.
Okay.
If you.
What's most popular?
Sure. Our ground beef is absolutely the most popular. It's I think what's different than what you would get at the grocery store, where that's just kind of a mixture of a lot of different animals and levels of life, whatever. Kind of a mystery pot. Every pound of our ground beef is from one single animal.
That's great.
So, and that is all of our beef that we sell is raised from a calf on our farm. So day one to day none, and it's on pasture its whole life, and we take it to the processor ourselves, pick it up ourselves. We are the entire supply chain. And so one really cool cut that we do that we hear a lot of fun feedback is called the picanha. And so it's kind of traditionally like a people use it for like a Brazilian open fire barbecue. And there's only 2 per animal. It's like kind of like the tri-tip and hanger steak and things like that.
So what part is the picanha?
Sure, the picanha is from like the rump, so the back end.
Right.
But it's similar to it's kind of similar to a strip steak where but it's like a roast. So you've got a really lean meat, and then it's a fat cap. So a lot of people do like barbecue with it. But you can't really get it anywhere. We have a lot of people that come, and the people who love it the most are chefs.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they're like,
I'm sure.
And it's always the first thing to go in the morning at the market.
Yeah.
It's always the chefs that come up like, you have hanger steak? No. You got tri-tip? No. Picanha? It's like these things that chefs really enjoy, those certain cuts of meats, because they're not they're not mainstream, and it gets turned into grind. But we do other things like the chuck eye, which is like the most marbled part of the chuck roast.
You bet.
The Denver. We just we play around with a lot, but then we do brats and burgers and beef sticks, and so
all the things.
We try to do a lot. We do a lot of our we make our own bone broth.
Wow.
Yeah. So we try to carry pretty much a wide range, as wide of a range as we can. That makes sense. We even sell all of our fat, and I actually make a lot of the fat into our own tallow.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So,
which is hugely popular right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, tallow is quite the little magic.
Yeah, man.
Magic thing. You can season your cast iron, and you can moisturize your face.
Well, in a roundabout way,
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, also chicken.
Yeah. So chicken is a fun one. We started doing. And chicken we raise on pasture. We move it every single day. I raise about 800 at a time.
Okay.
Which compared to, that sounds like a big number, but you look at some of these chicken houses, they can hold up to 12,000.
Jeez.
So drop in the bucket. But what we do is very different of a method. So They're in basically a hoop house with roll-up sides on sleds. So I move it with the truck every single day. They get fresh pasture. They can eat the grass and the bugs, and they can scratch. But they're outside all the time.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a labor-intensive deal.
Yeah.
And we feed them fully organic and non-GMO feed. It
great.
goes out of a organic processing. So we're in the process right now. Our application is moving forward with being certified organic.
Nice.
So we would be the only certified organic pastured poultry producer in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
And also, I think there's maybe one in like central Oklahoma, and there's another one in like northeast Missouri, and that's it.
All right.
So if you want, I mean, that's something that we were like, hey, you know, this changes very little about what we do,
for sure.
But we want to put some integrity behind it. We want to say like, hey, what we're saying is verified and true.
Yeah.
And so,
that's great.
It means maybe not a lot to some people, but it's the difference with some. And it is kind of funny talking about like chicken, you know, nice chicken.
Yeah.
But it's a completely it's like
I think people know the difference for the most part. I do.
You talk to somebody who, you know, has bought store-bought beef for their whole life,
Sure.
and then they get something from us or from some local producer,
Yeah.
and they're like, that's a completely different product.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with chicken. It's more label. It's there's a lot more that goes into it. And you know, large poultry companies have done a really great job of making it very cheap.
Yeah.
Now, not so much anymore. I mean, like everything's going up.
Yeah.
So they're actually starting to meet us pretty closely.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Gotcha. Oh my gosh. Well, chickens lay eggs.
Yes, they do, and
and they don't all come from a 13-year-old.
That's right. Yeah. So we do a little bit of eggs, and then a lot of eggs just come from. We actually, funny enough, we live in a great we live in chicken country, but also like there's some really great egg producers around here that are doing pasture raised organic. So it's we get it from them. We get it from people that I know that I've been out to their farm. I know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly everybody in here, I've been to their facility.
Nice.
I know exactly what, you know, I've laid my eyes on their production, what they do, the home environment that it's raised in, the ranch.
It's like a good chef.
Yes,
they do the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, the eggs are a big one, and then raw milk is the other thing that really is really important that we stick with.
Also important is getting those bottles returned. I saw that on your Facebook. You're like, folks.
Yeah, I have to do kind of like once a month or once a quarter. Be like, hey. These things do cost money,
right?
Which, you know, we do a bottle deposit program. So whenever a new customer comes in,
gotcha,
they say we want to try the milk. I say great. It's the price of the milk plus a bottle deposit because you know it's that farm's.
For people that don't know, if you go check out Evergreen's, well, you can see it on the website.
Sure.
You can see it. I think I saw it on Facebook maybe also as well.
Yes, Facebook.
These are danged old bottles, man. These are the real thing.
Gallons, yeah.
Yeah. These are something that I could see people wanting to keep for something else.
Yes.
Not advised if you want refills.
Yeah. So, and it's more of just like it saves me the effort of having to go and get more and getting them dropped off to our dairy.
Gotcha.
And so it's just it's kind of one of those like keeps the grease, you know, keeps the in, you know, it keeps it going of like
keeps the engine going. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Thank you. Golly.
Yeah. Greases the wheels.
Greases the wheels. There you go. So
you're good.
Caught up in my analogies. So and that's been we've been way lucky to find partners.
That's great.
That produce milk that have such high standards of excellence, such high integrity for their product, very clean, because that's the number one thing and raw milk isn't dangerous. You know, it's certainly has its risks, just like eating salad. More people get E. coli from salad. You know, it's that kind of thing that and so it's really I'm not trying to like downplay anything, but it is brought up to be, you know, kind of something, you know, the boogeyman.
Yeah.
When in reality is like, hey, if you can go to that farm, if you can look at, you know, and trust but verify. Any of these people can go to these farms, and it's an open door policy. That's what they have to follow from the state.
Yeah. By the way, you had mentioned earlier about beef and ground beef tasting completely different from what you buy in stores. I feel like I've got another thing that's also like that, and that's lamb. I think lamb tastes way different in store than when you're getting it from a farmer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, lamb and pork. I mean, it all just has a different level of... It's just a different level product.
Yeah,
I mean, and so lamb is interesting. Lamb...
Which, by the way, you guys offer here as well.
Yes. And lamb and pork and
right.
all that great stuff. And that's on delivery as well. And lamb are one of those, like, sheep. They are, pasture animals. They eat a lot what's in season. And so it's all... I don't raise sheep. My wife did for a little bit. We're trying to get into it, but sometimes, our bread and butter is beef, and sometimes they eat a lot of sheep. Eat kind of a lot of what the same stuff the beef do, and so,
I see.
Yeah,
bread and butter gets compromised there a little bit, right?
And so there's a lot of people, and to be honest, like, our passion is beef and chicken.
Yeah.
There's other people like Hannah's Family Ranch.
They're great.
They're great, and that's their passion.
Yeah.
And I'm always, and we use them for delivery.
Yeah.
So if you get lamb from us, that's who it's coming from, and that's their passion.
Man,
that's what they love.
And they're all over Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
They're great.
And I'm kind of that camp of like, I don't really know if I ever want to raise sheep, because there's other people that are so great at it.
And that's the thing. That's the difference was because I've had lamb from Hannah through a restaurant, and I'm like, this does not taste what I get. From Tom Thumb, or actually back then it was probably Safeway in Dallas way back in the day as a kid.
And if you went into any of like Matt Cooper's restaurants, a lot of restaurants, Tuscan Trotter, they produce, or excuse me, they make bands.
They serve
Bansley, Berkshire is who we use here
for pork.
For pork, and that's for our store and delivery. And that's in a ton of restaurants.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they've got great partners, and it's top notch.
Yeah,
and that's kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
Like they raise on pasture. Those pigs are outside all the time.
100%.
And that's it's in our name, Evergreen Pasture and Provisions. That's part of our architecture. Is
this time of year. I sneeze a lot. This is not my best sinus time of year or allergy time of year. I'm probably deficient on local honey.
Yeah.
Which is big here.
Yes. Yeah. And that's really important. So one of those like things to follow if you want to like be hyper local about your honey, it's basically a 50-mile radius.
Yeah.
That's the sweet spot. And I partner with he's a friend, but his name's Caleb. He owns C's Bees, and he is just, again, top notch. He not only catches, and he's coming to the square soon. There's a beehive up in this historic building. He's gonna come grab. So like, not only does he raise the bees and produce the honey, he actually goes and captures the bees, and it has like a whole service behind it.
Moves hives. Oh my gosh! Plus.
What a
so
great
deal.
He's quite the all-around producer. Yeah.
That's great.
And it's good. And my wife, who doesn't really like honey, she's like, I love this honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. It changes with the seasons,
Good stuff.
And he also does like whipped honeys.
Oh my
cinnamon
gosh.
and chocolate and pumpkin and all these really cool
stuff. Does he do honey butter?
Yes. So he does like cinnamon, which I think is like
cinnamon honey butter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
I don't know if he doesn't do it. I'm sure he will.
Wow. Yum. Okay, breads. You guys get breads too.
Yep. So we get fresh bread delivered every single week.
Okay.
I kind of spread things out across a couple different bakers. One of them is Allison. She runs Rooted Bakery in Fayetteville.
Okay.
We've known her for a long time, just at the Fayetteville Farmers Market. She was our first bread vendor here.
Okay.
But she is legit. If anyone wants to look her up, she does a 2-day fermentation. I mean, she's got a food science degree. I mean, she's not a home baker. She's legit. She's a legit scientist.
Yeah.
And makes some amazing fresh bread, sourdough bread. It's all sourdough. So like from the chocolate sourdough to the regular sourdough to the bagels to the scones.
Yeah.
She's doing croissants. It's She's
Yum.
legit. And then, but she doesn't do like cookies and sweets and things like that.
Right.
So I have another baker that does like more of a sourdough sandwich loaf that you would, traditionally, cut into sandwich bread. And then she brings like cookies and muffins
Yum.
and brownies and things
Those
like that.
those just gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's another gal that brings her pumpkin bread or banana bread, excuse me. So
Yum.
I try to pull together as many folks as
Yeah.
I can to,
And you've talked obviously about a couple of the places that you sell that are not off the shelves, basically, that are including the marinara sauce you talked about, Zelli pasta, a couple of the other popular ones.
Natural State Bevco.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Heck
do a
yeah.
lot of great kombuchas.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Awesome.
shameful. I always grab one whenever I'm.
Well,
Yeah.
got to cut into it a little bit, right?
There you go, yeah.
I do see Arkansas Fire up there for the hot sauce.
Yeah.
I've got some of that at home. Yeah, man. Pink House.
Pink House Alchemy.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. There's some great ones here.
And that's our focus. Is just that we're very fortunate to live in a part of the country where there's a lot of really great producers
Sure.
that are going to market. I mean, I think it's kind of some of this like
No shortage.
CPG kind of excitement that comes along with Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
But then again, people are great. They make great products.
Oh, yeah.
And are passions, and it might not be their full-time thing, but if we can help make that step a little closer in their timeline,
Yeah.
then we feel like we've won.
How can they find you?
Well, social media is probably the biggest thing that we do. So like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, you're on
yeah.
TikTok.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Are you dancing?
No, sometimes. I think I got one last time dancing.
There you
go. Yeah, I can't escape that one. So,
Right.
our big thing is transparency.
Yeah.
And what you see is what you get. And there was no better way to do that than to say, hey, the internet's forever.
Yeah.
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 And
I don't think it's going anywhere.
yeah, and so we kind of made the decision to say, hey, we want Instagram and these social medias to be a way that not only can you connect with what our farmer's doing and what our store is doing, but just a way to. I try to make things educational. I try to make things
Sure.
funny or quirky or whatever.
You can always get a reminder to return
Yeah.
your milk bottles.
Yeah, that's right. And if you want to sign up for delivery, it is shop.evergreenthestore.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shop.evergreenthestore.com.
Yeah, and don't
is the
worry,
spot.
we're standing up new zip codes within a couple weeks, and we'll be there. We had a lot of, yeah. It was.
We got a lot of
Yeah, we got a lot. Well, I don't want to call it backlash. Constructive criticism on
There
one
it
of our.
is.
One of
Are
our
you going to follow
posts.
that with a yes and?
Yeah. We were. I said we delivered in Northwest Arkansas, and a lot of people saw the video and they went to our site and they're like, "You don't deliver to Bentonville or Rogers."
Yeah.
So it was actually
It's coming.
It was a good little stress test to say, okay, I guess there are people in these areas that do know about us and do want their product.
That is the nicest way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little stress test.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's we love what we've built here. We're just going to continue to move forward. We've got really great plans for the we're going to push over that wall, and we're going to try to be, and then we're going to integrate a lot more of like bulk grocery.
Okay.
So if you go to like a Whole Foods or if you go to Ozark Natural Foods, you see kind of like the bins with with coffees and teas and cooking. And so we're going to try to open that up as a benefit because it doesn't exist around here.
Appreciate you, man.
Oh,
This has been great.
This is easy.
Give the address for folks that just happen to be passing through Berryville.
Sure. Yeah, if you're coming through Berryville on 62 Highway, luckily the highway goes straight through the center of the square, and we are just on the west side of the square. So, but if you want to put it in your Google Maps, you can just do Evergreen Pasture and Provisions, and our address is 103 Public Square, Berryville, Arkansas.
Awesome, man.
Super easy to find us. I'm not hard to get in contact with.
Yeah. He's out there. You'll find him.
For sure.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Flavors of Northwest Arkansas. You can find on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm not dancing.
That's right.
Yeah. Please remember to tip your servers this weekend. They're getting hit like the rest of us, so please remember that. Have a great week. and we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.